In the world of independent hip-hop in New Zealand, Breaking Records is one of the labels that definitely jumps out at you. And I'm here with label boss and artist on the label, Cyphanetix. How you doing, bro?
Oh, good. How are you?
Good, good. So tell me about the label for a start. When did you start that up, and what was the mission for the label?
We started like unofficially around 2001, I think it was. We first started doing stuff. It kind of grew from there into a business. I think we established in 2003, and since then we've been putting out records. We're up to our fourth record through our distribution Shock, and we've also done another 5 on top of that independently. Yeah.
Was there a particular sound that you guys were looking at, or a particular side of hip-hop that you felt wasn't being expressed, that you wanted to aim the label towards?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I felt like hip hop, like in general, wasn't really being expressed. Like, in the sound is pretty much a spectrum of like all hip hop. I feel like only one part of hip hop gets represented in mainstream media, you know, which is pretty much like the R&B kind of side, and yet it's called like R&B hip hop or something. But the truth is, I mean, most people who listen to hip hop don't really listen to that much, like, you know, singing and stuff. So I mean, for us, I think we tried to fill like all the other gaps, you know what I mean? Not like one particular gap, but like one particular gap was already filled, and we tried to fill everything else.
Blaze 'em, blaze 'em, blaze 'em, blaze 'em, ah! Blaze 'em, blaze 'em, blaze 'em, blaze 'em, ah! Blaze 'em, blaze 'em, blaze 'em, blaze 'em, ah! Blaze 'em, blaze 'em, I'm a
Okay, now you're known as an amazing battle MC. You won the Battle for Supremacy before. For you, one thing that I've always found interesting about battles, or a matter of interest, is where to draw the line. Are there any topics for you that are off limits when you're battling someone?
I don't think so. Like, if I knew someone personally, I don't think I'd do like jokes about like maybe their girlfriend or stuff like that, you know. That's, yeah, probably out of line. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you put yourself up on the battle platform to battle, I mean, you pretty much are open to anything, and it all gets thrown at you, and yeah, you got to give it back. I mean, you got to look for shit that is going to piss people off, because that's what throws them off their game, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just said shit that people don't take any offense to, they're just gonna, like, you know, it's gonna be like no effect. You know?
Nice. Is there anyone, like, over the years battling various people, whether it's in competitions or you know, just for shits and giggles or whatever, that people have really taken offense and sort of been like, oh, bro, come on?
Yeah, I mean, now and then you get people who kind of come onto the battle scene. I mean, not so much these days. I'm kind of out of the loop, but yeah, like who yeah, probably just don't really fully concept the idea of a MC battle, maybe, and they do, like, you know, like come off after the battle and, like, you know, be like, oh, you know, if my boys were here, you would have got fucked up saying that and shit like that. And yeah, some people like take offense, and some people like lose battles and just decide that they're going to be your arch enemy for the rest of their life, and pretty much just go out of their way to run your name down and stuff. It's like, dude, you don't even know me, you know. It's like, I would never, like, you know, if someone beat me in a battle, I'd never like treat them differently as a person outside the battle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens, and even fans, you know, like when the first time we went to Australia and like all we did was go over there and battle them, and like come back and like everyone in Australia was hating on us and that. It's like, you know, that's what we went there to do. It's like, what they want us to do, go over there and give them props, you know? Like,
now this third one, you should know I love. Nedic never say no to, but I say no to hugs if men are involved. That's why instead of taking, I'm heading for, I'd really.
Excellent. Okay, let's talk about the album a little bit. Commercial Suicide. How long have you been writing for the album, and who are some of the producers who worked on it?
Well, because it's like my debut album, I guess I've been writing for it all my life. The tracks that made the album, you know, like were probably only come about in the last couple of years, because pretty much everything I did before that, I just kind of, I mean, it took me a long time for me to properly find myself, even though I was like kind of like out in the limelight, and there I still was like, you know, not 100% like I, you know, like try and put on a deeper voice and stuff like that. And yeah, it took me a while to fully like find a comfortable position for myself where I could be myself and speak my mind truly and still make it sound good to my ear. Producers wise, we've got NZOWN, who's from the Break and Wreck camp. He's done a few tracks. His friend Tommy Harmonic, who is a new producer to everyone, doing stuff on my albums, like the first public exposure he's kind of had. Shadow Squad, Guy Mason, who makes Shadow Squad, he's made a lot of the beats for it too. That'd be the main ones. Also Nate D from RES and 22 done a track each.
Yeah. So you're essentially keeping it like a very pure sort of hip hop album, aren't you, with the beats and everything?
Yeah, it's the flows in that do change a bit. Like the beats aren't completely conventional, but yeah, it's pretty like well rounded. Like I think in the future I'll probably, like for my second album, I could probably see myself coming out with something pretty weird and kind of one direction. But I didn't want to do that for the first because I didn't want people to. I didn't want people to see it as like I don't know. I didn't want, because like it was my debut album, and like what I like always changes with the times in there. I didn't want to just make one contemporary album that only captured like a really small part of my life, because it's like the debut. It really does have to, like capture the last 5 years that I've been kind of doing stuff, because that's the time period people have been waiting for this to come out. The people looking forward to it in there. But I mean, releasing stuff in that it's not like I'm saying that I cut it short in any way, because in my opinion it's a great album, but I think the next album I'll probably can see myself doing something really weird with it, like going off in just one direction and then the next one after that in a completely different direction, that kind of thing. But as far as this album goes, it's more well-rounded. I'd be surprised if people didn't like any of the tracks, but then it's also one of them albums where you may, if you don't like any of the tracks, that would just be crazy, because there's such a variety there.
Ain't nobody made this. Those that claim that as fake blast, see them face flat trying to play that. Give me a stage ad to know in fact I'm one of the best, and I ain't just saying that because
And finally, what's going on with Insomniacs?
We're working on the Insomniacs album now. Tourette's has just got back from Australia just last week, and we worked on it a bit before he left, and we've just started getting back into it. We've got the Usual Suspects album and Tyson Tyler album to drop before that, so I'd say it'll probably be looking at near the end of next year for a release, but I think we'll just potter away at it till we're really happy with it, seeing as we've got a bit of time on our hands. Yeah.
Sound like a very busy man, having your own album coming out, other albums you're affiliated with, and of course, all the albums on the label.
I mean, just running a hip hop label alone is, full-time job, and then, being an MC too doesn't make it easy, but I guess that's why it's taken me so long to get around to finally getting it out.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, let's watch Blaze Him now. Commercial Suicide out
October the 2nd, Monday. Go buy it. If you get it on the first week, you get a free ticket to the release party too. So
there you go.
Definitely, if you're not going to buy it, at least go into the store and listen to it, because I promised you it's the real shit.
There you go. Independent hip hop in New Zealand, represented by Break and Records. You're on NZOWN.